Welcome to the Howie Silbiger Show on the True Talk Radio Network. Get in on the conversation. Call 1-877-669-1292.
And my name is Howie Silbiger. Welcome to the program, the Howie Silbiger Show, right here on the True Talk Radio Network. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate you being here, and I'm very happy that you are here, and I'm pleased, quite pleased to be on the air with you. I know I haven't been on all week, and I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to be here on the air with you here on the Howie Silbiger Show. The numbers, of course, to get in on the conversation are quite simple. They're 1-877-669-1292. That's 1-877-669-1292. That's the number to get in on the conversation here on the Howie Silbiger Show on the True Talk Radio Network. We have a lot to talk about, and I'm looking forward to discussing some of the issues of the day with you tonight. I will be on solo, so for those of you who are wondering, there will be no one on with me tonight. It is just me, and I know that's a disappointment to some of you. Whenever you hear that Howie is alone, Howie's doing the show by himself, oh my gosh, maybe I should go and find something else to do. I'm giving you a pre-warning that's it's going to be me tonight, so if that's what you want to do, then feel free. I mean, whatever. But I am here, I'm live, and I am happy to be here with you. Let me give you the number again, 1-877-669-1292. That's 1-877-669-1292 is the number to call to get in on the conversation here on the Howie Silbiger Show. So we are looking now at the school situation, at the situation of school reopenings in Quebec. We broadcast from Quebec, Canada. And we are looking for at the situation of school reopenings in Quebec, Canada, and we realized that that we can't reopen the schools, and I'm willing to bet that the schools are not going to be reopened until September. This is what I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to wager that that we're not going to see school reopenings till September, and I think that would be the smart and prudent thing to not reopen the schools till September. I think that that'll be safer for teachers and safer for students and safer for everybody all around. It is a situation. We are living in a situation which is a very strange situation. It is a situation that we've never lived through before, and so I think moving ahead with caution and prudence is probably the smart thing to do, and so I commend the government of Quebec for making this decision, and I know that in the next couple of days or next week or so, they will make the decision to not have a school at all for the rest of the year. I don't think there's any safe way to bring kids to school. That's just the way I see it. But then again, I am not a scientist, and I don't make these calls. Nobody asks my opinion. I just offer it here on this radio show. So I'm offering my opinion, and you can take it for what it's worth. If you agree with me, you could call in. If you disagree with me, you could call in. However you want to play it, you could always call in 1-877-669-1292. So there's a couple of stories that I want to address that happened over the last day, today and yesterday, and the last couple of days that have bothered me a lot. And I figured this is a good time to talk about stuff that bothers me. One of the things that bothers me a lot is the idea. Some people have this crazy idea, and it's nuts, and it's a result of media overhyping the coronavirus. It's a result of the media overplaying their role in the coronavirus and scaring the population into obedience and scaring the population into following everything and anything that the government tells them to do, giving up our civil rights, giving up our human rights, and doing everything the government insists that we do. And this is part of it. And part of that was was that the government decided that citizens should be vigilantes. And by being vigilantes means that the government has encouraged people to squeal on other people, to tell on them, as if we're all living in kindergarten. We can't be respectable and respectful adults. We've been instructed to tell on each other. So if you see your neighbor doing something, there is a police line. The police actually set up a phone line that you could call to tell the police that your neighbor is not following the rules. You could squeal on them, go to the principal's office. And then your neighbor will get a visit from the police, and they'll get a slap on the hand and $1,000 fine. And it's a great way for people who don't like each other to wreak revenge on each other. And the potential for abuse of a system like that is amazing. And not only is the potential for abuse of a system like that amazing, but the fact that that you're encouraging citizens to do this, and the fact that you are asking citizens to turn over their neighbors and friends, reeks of totalitarianism. It is to me an unacceptable practice. And the fact that the government is encouraging people to do this is disgusting and, to me, quite revolting. Now, I know a lot of people don't agree with me and say, "Oh, it's for our safety," but the numbers and the science says, they say tell a very different story. So if you look at the numbers and the science, it's a completely different story than what the government's telling us. So we don't really know what is good and what is bad. All we know is that is what we're told, and so being told to tell on your neighbors, being told to squeal on people, being told to turn your neighbors in, just brings us back to countries that live under totalitarian rule, countries that live with people under their thumb, and that's not the kind of country I want to live in. It's not the kind of society I want to be in. And it actually bothers me greatly. Does it bother you? 1-877-669-1292. That's 1-877-669-1292. So one of the things that we've been commanded not to do by our government and by our politicians is gather. We've been commanded, don't get together, even if you stand at a 6 foot difference, if you space yourself out 6 feet. And you stand on the street, you are still putting yourself and everybody else at risk, is what they tell us. Even though they say, shopping at 6 feet apart is fine, and doing other things at 6 feet apart is fine. But if you happen to meet somebody in the street and you're standing 6 feet apart from each other, that apparently is not fine, and you get fined. You get fined big time for that. And so when a city councillor, Lionel Perez, a Montreal city councillor, Lionel Perez, when his daughter got engaged about a month ago, Lionel went and he hired a keyboardist to stand at the edge of his driveway. He was on the edge of the driveway in the street, and he asked the keyboardist to play music. And Lionel rolled down. He didn't roll down. He opened up the windows of his living room windows. And he stood in the window with his daughter and his son and his wife, and they danced in the living room while the musician was on the outside. And the musician played for a few minutes, and then Lionel's neighbors called the police, and the police came and broke it up, sent the musician home, and Lionel really faced a storm of criticism, both at City Hall and online, that he should not have hired a musician to play in his driveway. And they really gave him, they ran him through the mill, which is fine. I mean, that's politics. You want to run someone through the mill, you can run them through the mill for almost anything in politics, and that's fine. If people felt that this is what they could do, and this is what they should do, and this is how they're going to politically bring him down, then that's fine to make a political point. But that wasn't the point they were making. They weren't making a political point. What they were saying was that he had endangered people by having this musician play in his driveway. And that is inherently false. Because just a couple of days later, the local newspaper, which ran Lionel through the mud, published a picture of a man playing a violin on a street corner to brighten the moods of people who are stuck at home. Well, one second. What's the difference between a guy on a street corner playing a violin and a guy in a driveway playing an organ? The only difference between the two of them was that the guy playing the organ, the guy playing the electric keyboard, had a yarmulke on his head, that he was Jewish. That was the only difference between one situation and the other situation. And so then we saw that just the other day, the city of Côte St. Luc actually arranged for a band to play on the driveway of an old age home. And if you watch the video, you'll see in the video that the band is playing, and there are people gathered around the band, so social distancing wasn't really happening there. And there were people around the band, and nobody caused a storm. In fact, the city of Côte St. Luc put up a big thank you on their Facebook page, and they published the video, proudly published the video. This is what we're doing for older people. We're giving them entertainment, and I think it's a great initiative to give older people entertainment. It's a little hypocritical. It's a little hypocritical to go after that the media went after a city councilor who had a guy in his driveway, but are giving a free pass to a guy playing a violin on the street corner, and then a free pass to a city organizing a concert in the driveway of a nursing home. Or I think the hypocrisy stinks, and I don't think the hypocrisy is I don't think it's by accident. I don't think it's accidental. I think that Lionel Perez, unfortunately, was attacked for his musician in his driveway because he is publicly Jewish. Now, I don't make accusations like this lightly. I know that a lot of people like pointing fingers and saying anti-Jewish about everything. I'm not like that. And for those people who have listened to the show for years, you know that I don't call out anti-Jewism all that much. I'm not a big believer in labeling things anti-Jewish. But in this case, I'm not quite sure how I could see it any differently. I'm not quite sure how I could see it in any other light. A man playing the violin on the street corner is just as dangerous as a man playing a keyboard in a driveway. There's really no difference in the danger between one and the other. If you are worried that one of these guys is going to spread corona, or a crowd is going to gather because one of these guys is playing an instrument, the instrument is not the difference. So if it's okay for the guy to play an instrument on the street corner, and it's okay for Martha Wainwright to play her instrument on her balcony, and it's okay for the city of Côte St. Luc to have a band play in the driveway of an old age home, then why is it not okay for Lionel Perez to have had a keyboardist playing in his driveway to celebrate his daughter's wedding or engagement? I'm extremely confused by this, and if you could enlighten me, I would appreciate that. The number to call is 1-877-669-1292 is the number to call, and you can help enlighten me on this, because I'm awfully confused by this. It doesn't make sense to me. It makes absolutely zero sense to me. I don't see the difference between one and the other. But then again, people will say, Howie, you're biased. I'm not biased at all. If I'd be the first one on here screaming and yelling if I thought that the musician in the driveway of Lionel Perez's house was somehow violating public safety standards, I would be the first one yelling that we shouldn't be doing this. As I've been yelling about people with people who've been getting together to pray, as I've been yelling about people having weddings and large crowds at funerals, I've taken a lot of heat for my criticism of the Jewish community and their handling of the coronavirus. I've taken a lot of heat on that. And if I think Perez was out of line, I would say it immediately on the show. I wouldn't even think twice before saying it. But I'm confused as to what the difference between Martha Wainwright playing on her balcony, a man playing in the driveway of a politician's house, and a man playing a violin on the corner is. I'm extremely confused what the difference is. And so I invite you to please call in and try to enlighten me, try to explain this to me, because I don't understand. 1-877-669-1292 is the number to call. That's 1-877-669-1292. Now, I used to think I was a smart guy. I used to think that I was able to grasp things happening around me and understand how the world works around me. I always thought that I was pretty astute to politics and to the way things happen. This has thrown me because I'm not sure why one is okay and the other one's not. Unless, of course, I buy into the theory that Lionel Perez is Jewish and this was just an anti-Jewish thing. But let's hear what you have to say. 1-877-669-1292. That's 1-877-669-1292. And let's go to the phones. Fanny, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Howie. How are you?
I am excellent, thank God. How are you?
Oh, I'm sick of the isolation, Howie.
Are you really?
Yep, sick, but I got to stay in here, so we continue.
Yeah, we don't have much of a choice.
No, and it's gotten to the point where, you know what, I don't want to feel bad about it because people have survived worse times with less than what we have. So I just kind of thank my lucky stars every day. Baruch Hashem. I have TV, I have internet, I have what to keep me occupied. I have a beautiful kitchen to gain a lot of weight in while cooking. And you know what? I can't complain. But it's not easy. We're used to a different lifestyle, and it's very hard and emotionally too. But the reason, I called, I wanted to ask something, but I want to talk to you about what was done for this guy. As long as people are being smart, I see no reason why not to. Kids are having birthdays in isolation. Both my granddaughters did. Their friends drove by. They came with signs. They sang happy birthday. And they loved it. It was special. It was different. And, it's like, wow, all these people came. And they've gone on drive-bys where they go and they drive by and they honk and they wish people happy birthday. And you know what? If it makes people happier, then I say, hey, let's do it.
All right. So tell me, why was Lionel Perez given the short shaft of the stick when he had a musician play on his driveway?
Because people are jealous, because people don't understand. What did the police say when they came?
No, they made the musician pack up and leave.
Why?
No, well, that's the question I'm asking.
Is it against the law?
And then he took a political hit for it. I mean, this was a couple of weeks ago. He took a political hit for it. You should have seen. I posted up a defense of him on Facebook the day it happened, with a video of the actual event and a video taken by the musician, and the video clearly showed that the musician was by himself, alone in the driveway, just playing music, and it clearly showed Lionel Perez in his house, in the living room. And you should have seen the anti-Jewish remarks being put up. I think this was an anti-Jewish. I think this was an anti-Jewish thing.
Well, then that's another story. We all know how the anti-Semitism works, unfortunately.
But I think it's great. I think it's great for entertainers to go out there and try to lift the spirits of the people, because it's kind of depressing to be sitting at home, isn't it?
Yeah. At least I can go on my patio. I can go for a walk. But people in seniors' homes and sick people, they can't. They're stuck. They're literally stuck.
Yeah, it's kind of scary and sad when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. But Howie, I had a question for you, because I know that you're in the know of certain things. Not everything, but certain.
Not everything for sure.
Yeah, but you work in the kosher food industry. So, in the States right now, they're having trouble with meat meat processing, meat plants, and they have a shortage. I'm wondering, is the same true for the kosher meat industry?
In
Are
in,
we
in the States, yes.
What about here in Canada?
We had a problem at the beginning of the virus, and it had nothing to do with the virus. At the beginning of the quarantine, we had a problem just before Pesach, and the problem was that the major meat packer, the major abattoir that packs meat, was shut down by the health department, and so there was a shortage of meat at the beginning of April. They found violations, health violations in the meat processing plant, and they shut the meat processor down. And they were the largest meat packing plant in Canada. So,
Right.
so there was a shortage of meat, both kosher and non-kosher, because it all came from the same meat packing plant,
Yeah.
same abattoir. They resolved that problem. It took them a couple of weeks. They resolved that problem. So for a few weeks, it was rough getting beef and veal. But that problem was resolved. Chickens have never been a problem. Kosher-wise, both in the States and Canada, chickens were never a problem. We had a problem with beef for a little bit, but no, now we don't. There's no shortage of meat, not in Canada. At
Okay.
least.
Good to know.
The shortage you're going to find, though, is in stores because people are hoarding, and as long as they keep hoarding, there'll be a shortage of everything in stores.
Yeah, sometimes I get lucky. Sometimes I found a place that almost always has everything I want.
Yeah,
And I'm not sharing that on air.
I've been ordering online. I've been ordering all my food online. I haven't gone into a store since April, so I've been ordering all my food online. It's been a hassle to order stuff online. It's really
my God.
It's really not fun.
The IGA, I finally got a slot like for delivery.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you, they didn't call me for substitutions. I'm sure they're very busy, so I didn't say anything. But I didn't get a lot of things I wanted that I know that are there because they're too heavy and the guys don't want to carry them, I guess. I don't know. That happened twice with an IGA order. Once I placed an IGA order in Lachine, and they wouldn't put the bottles in. And we're not talking about big bottles. We're talking about 2-liter bottles.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to put them in, so they wouldn't sell them to me, and at Cavendish also.
Yeah.
Well, I need my cranberry juice. It's not fair, Howie. So I got a lot of items I didn't order. I didn't get everything I wanted. I will say Tutti Frutti on Westminster, they are phenomenal. I cannot complain. They're fantastic.
I haven't ordered from them. I've ordered from IGA. I've ordered from Costco. I've gone to a couple of little fruit stores to pick up the odds and ends. That was in April, but now I've ordered from the Foodery. The Foodery has been very good in delivering.
Really? From Park Avenue?
Yeah. They have a great online system, and you put your thing in. They call you for substitutions, and they deliver within.
Nice.
They deliver within 8 hours, 10 hours. I've ordered meat directly from the butchers, and they deliver the same day. So you order in the morning, you have your meat in the evening.
Butcher too. I've been quite fortunate. I had to change butchers, but hey, they weren't. I used to order from one company online every Passover and Rosh Hashanah. So I went to order my Passover order, and I get there, and they said they're not selling to private customers, only commercial. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. And I didn't ask why. I didn't look. I said, screw you. And I went to somebody else, somebody new. And they're fantastic so far.
There you go.
Not going to complain too much. They deliver.
So my meat's been delivered by either the Foodery or one of the butchers, wherever I've ordered from different things from different people. Because I also look at price, right? And I also another company that's been really good has been Passmart, Shushat.
What's that?
Neverwashadish.com. So
they deliver food.
They deliver food. They deliver dry goods. They'll deliver paper goods. So if you need paper plates and napkins, I don't mind giving them a plug because they've been very, very, very good. So
will they go into the store and get me cranberry juice?
Maybe. But they've been very good at supplying, and they have no lack of anything. So I've been very happy with them. So I've been ordering from different places, and
Yeah.
that's been keeping me busy. The only thing I haven't been able to find consistent is kosher bakery. Nobody delivers, and I just don't feel like going into the stores.
Wait a second. Adar delivers.
Yeah, but I don't want to pay $5 more a loaf of bread than I have to. They know how to charge too.
Yeah, my son, I sent him to the fish store on Victoria, and I said, "Oh, if you're there," so he went into. Every time he goes into one of these kosher places, he says, "Mom, don't order from there again."
Yeah.
But we love their challah, and he was in the neighborhood. Last week I had to make challah, and they weren't happy with it. They want their challah.
I baked challah last week too.
Yeah.
This week I ordered frozen challah, so I'm frozen doughs. So I'll bake them this week. I'll bake the frozen doughs this week.
Oh, that's a great idea. Where'd you get it from, the IGA?
Yeah. I ordered them. One of my orders dough came in. And I ordered the frozen dough, and the frozen dough came, and I was happy.
Very nice. And finding Amazon is quite slow these days. And I ordered a baby gift from Hudson Bay, and it took twice as long to get delivered. But, I mean, they're all backed up, I guess.
Look, anything I've ordered has taken me over a week to get.
Wow.
Over a week, yeah. Except for the stuff from these food stores, which come basically overnight. But anything I've ordered online, if I've ordered from Costco or I ordered from, basically Costco or Amazon, it's been over a week.
Oh, I waited weeks. I need new hot water thing for Shabbos. It took 2 weeks to come.
Yeah.
But I got a nice one.
Oh, good.
And no.
I hope it didn't cost you I hope it didn't cost you too much money.
No, actually, I had been looking for one for quite some time because I knew mine was dying, and they were expensive. They were a good one was over $100.
Yep.
So when ours died, I went on Amazon. We were already in quarantine. And I find this one, Hamilton Beach. It's a percolator, but you can just put hot water in it, right?
Right.
So, I ordered it $70.
Not bad at all.
No, it came. It's huge. It's bigger than my other one. So for Yontif, it's wonderful.
Good.
For a 2-day holiday. Yeah. I'm very, very pleased.
Amazing.
We got a good deal. And that was the fastest anything came.
Yeah, it's everything is backed up, and I'm not sure why. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense to me. Let me explain it to you. Howie Silbiger. Never mind. That joke went. My cat got my tongue. No, what happens is there are less people working for the delivery companies and less people working in the retail stores to process your orders.
Right.
So what happens is, and they're not allowed to be close together, and there are more people ordering online.
All right, supply and demand.
And that's the backup.
So
Makes perfect sense.
And they didn't have any way of adjusting this, in the short time span that this whole thing happened. Okay, I get it.
Exactly. Look, my daughter's working from home, and she's going to be home for quite some time working there. At least she believes so. At least she's happy she's working. She's in Toronto. So her roommate, who went home for Pesach, is finally coming back a month later, and she also works from home. And they live in a matchbox in downtown Toronto. So they both need space. So she had to find a desk that would fit in her bedroom. She found one, $50. Yeah. They had it in stock, $15 to deliver. Guess what? She goes to check out, and they say at least minimum 6 weeks.
6
delivery.
Weeks? Wow.
6 weeks.
That's insane.
Yeah. So now she has to find somebody in Toronto and ask for a huge favor to go pick up this desk for her, a $50 desk.
Wow.
So she can work from home without, disturbing her roommate.
It's
She needs
crazy.
a desk.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, so, but can you imagine 6 weeks on the delivery, Howie? That's the crazy thing.
It is insane. But look, waiting a week for groceries, trying to decide today what I need next Thursday is kind of insane too.
Oh, I've had to change meal plans. I Google substitutions all the time. I mean, on cakes, you kind of can do it, but other things you can't.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering. I'm the kind of guy who used to go to the supermarket every day because I live alone, so I don't really stock. But now I have to think. Okay, what do I need for next week, and how can I have it add up to $40? Because minimum order is $40. So how can I have it add up to $40? And when was the last time I spent $40 a week on grocery? It's all just like just. And then they charge you an extra $10 to pack it to ship it, and so it's $50.
No, $4 for assembly and $5 for delivery.
So
I'm done with the IGA.
That's $10. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, Tutti Frutti, and they have a lot of kosher stuff.
And then there was another company that solicited me. They sent me an email and they said, "Hey, why don't you try us? We're new. We want to start out." So I said, "Okay." I'm not going to say the name of them because I don't want to mess them up. But it's kind of crooked anyway. I downloaded their app and I said, "All right." So they had 5 or 6 stores that they deal with, and they say they'll deliver within 3-4 hours. So how do they work it? So stores that they have deals with, they take 10% of your order. So if your order is $100, they take $10, right?
Okay.
Okay. Stores they don't have a deal with, they take 25%. Okay. So if you if $100 orders, you're paying them an extra 25. On top of the 10 or 25%, they charge you either $9.95 or $6.95 for delivery charge. Okay. All right, so picture this. So do the math with me, Fanny.
No, I don't do that.
You order $100, okay?
Yeah.
It costs you $9.95, so let's call it 10. We'll round it up to 10. Costs you
For delivery.
$10 for delivery, and then it costs you $25 their commission, the $25 commission fee. Okay? So that's $30 on top of the $100 that you've paid already, just for delivering. Then when it gets there, they take another $5 for a tip for the driver. So that's 40% that they're taking for delivery. I said no way. Thank you very much, but no, thank you.
Howie.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know. People have to make a living. I get it, and maybe some people will pay. They can afford it, or they have no choice. But I have choices.
Yeah, me too.
And you know what? I found a company, fruits and vegetables. They farmers.
Okay.
They normally sell to restaurants.
Right.
And whatnot. So they have a lot of extra produce. So they make up 4 baskets every week. Tuesday to Saturday, you can pick it up. You do an e-transfer. 4 boxes filled with fruits and vegetables for $100.
Okay.
We ordered 2 weeks ago. There wasn't enough fruit for us, quite honestly, but the value of the $100 of what we got was well over $200.
So you don't pick what you have in the boxes. You just go and pick up random
No,
boxes.
exactly. They give you, and it's exactly the same for everybody.
Okay. Interesting.
So we're eating more vegetables.
Yeah, why not? At least you're eating healthy.
If you need any spinach, Howie, I have extra. They gave me like $30 worth of spinach if I had to buy it in the supermarket.
I'll tell you a funny story. I was working a job not long ago, maybe 3-4 months ago, and they sent a case of spinach to the job, and the people who sent the spinach, the fruits and vegetable people who sent the spinach, didn't want it back, so I couldn't send it back to them, and there was no use for the spinach for the job that we were doing, and so we're just stuck with this box of spinach. So I took it home, and I froze it. So I have about 40 packages of spinach in my freezer. But thank you for the offer.
Oh, you're welcome. I have tons. I gave some away, and I still have. I washed and dried a bunch, and I just keep stuffing it in the freezer.
Right. Well, it freezes.
Yeah.
Spinach freezes well, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I use it in my smoothies.
Exactly. It freezes very well, and it doesn't lose taste after you defrost it. Spinach is good for that.
Yeah. I've been making omelets with all sorts of vegetables. Today I made. I saw a quarantine recipe. I take one of these, big tortillas or pitas, and you put it in the frying pan. You lay a couple slices of cheese on it. Fry up the vegetables and an egg, and just put it in there. Roll it up, crisp it up. It was delicious,
Oh, I'm
and
sure.
that's healthy. Healthy.
So there you go. So as long as it's delicious and healthy, that's what matters.
Yeah, because look, you buy $100 worth of stuff, even though it's worth well over $200. Yeah, some is gonna be extra and get rid of, but if you can use it all and you try to, you get healthy.
Amazing.
Well, yeah, something has to combat all the cake we're eating here.
For sure. I haven't eaten much cake though. I can't find bread, so I haven't eaten much bread. I baked a couple of loaves, but I tell you, it's very time-consuming baking bread. So
Yes, it is.
I really don't want to spend the time doing that. So I haven't really had much bread or cake, which is good because I generally eat too much of that stuff. So I've been very good.
Yeah, well, I like the thin pita, the Lebanese pita. The flat one. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
It's still fattening. It's still whatever, but
it's less fattening than, let's say, a big chunk of sourdough.
yeah, or challah.
Yeah, right. Or any egg-based bread. I mean, those are heavy and they're very, very, very fatty.
You know what I haven't been able to get for a couple weeks now is rye bread.
Really, I got a rye bread yesterday.
Well, lucky you. I ordered rye bread from the IGA. I ordered it from the kosher department sliced.
Yeah.
Because I like it sliced a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered 2. I got one in a plastic bag. From a different company.
Yeah.
Not what I wanted.
Yeah.
But because that's not what my kids like, right? They have their brand.
Yeah, of course.
And they love the IGA rye bread. Well, they're going to have to wait.
I got a rye bread yesterday or 2 days ago. I got it from the Foodery, so it was one of the brands that one of the kosher brands. And,
Foodery has rye bread?
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe I should check them out.
Yeah, they do. I've had no problems with them, no issues with them at all. I've been very happy.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, I do Fruity Maruti. I'm also happy with them. The pharmacies are pretty good. Can't complain. It's just keeping up with everything. I fell behind on one order, because we're ordering from all these different places.
Yeah.
And my son's also picking up from places that don't deliver. And, what are you going to do when you live in a shoe?
That's it, I haven't ordered from the pharmacies yet, but I hear that the delivery's pretty quick from pharmacies.
No, yeah, I always make sure I order a couple days ahead of time, and I'll pick up some hand soap while I'm there and whatever else I need from them.
Right.
And, we placed an order this morning. I got it this afternoon. They were usually my pharmacy is faster, but I guess she's, backed up, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So I even told her tomorrow's fine too. I just I try and order it ahead of time.
Yeah, well, as long as you're not waiting till last second to order everything. So that's.
Apparently, just there is a shortage in Montreal or maybe Canada of Ventolin. It's a pump for people with asthma, COPD.
Yeah.
And they couldn't fill my prescription for it today.
Yeah.
But
let's hope that you don't choke to death between now and time. Let's hope you don't choke to death by the time they find it.
Well, I won't choke to death, and I don't. My breathing's okay. I don't always use it because I'm a good girl. So I'm not concerned.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, it would have been a huge concern, but I'm okay. But wow, I couldn't believe it because I order it every month. No, you know what? I haven't ordered it in a couple months because I don't use it that often. So that's crazy.
I have a good friend who takes arthritis medicine, And the arthritis medicine she takes is that hypochondrian, the one that President Trump has been pushing for this COVID-19. And they banned it, so they stopped producing it.
Oh, shit.
And so now she's like, what is she supposed to do now? And she can't get
Wow.
through, of course, she can't get through to her doctor because doctors aren't working. So it's like, stuck between a rock and a hard place, right?
Well, there has to be somebody she can talk to.
She's working it out, but it hasn't been easy.
Wow, that's craziness.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to talk about my president that you don't like, that you love, excuse me.
Oh, don't accuse me of things that you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't like him anymore?
I didn't say I ever liked him. I said I like the President of the United States because he's an elected president. I support the presidency of the United States. I've never once professed that. Once I did. I wrote an op-ed piece saying that the left has forced me to like Donald Trump. And I could get into that if you want, but the left has really forced me to.
No, not necessary. I'm just glad to know there's no kosher food shortage.
No, not that I know of.
Cool. That is so awesome.
It is.
Yeah, we gave plugs to a couple good places.
Yeah. I don't mind giving plugs to places that are serving the community and serving them well.
You know what? My last order for Fruity Maruti, they called for my credit card, and I said, by the way, thank you very much. And I told her, order from many places, and you guys have the best service. She goes, thank you so much. She goes, no one has told us that. We're 7 weeks like this. Not one person told them thank you.
Have you heard? Have you seen their prices? Are their prices normal? Have they been gouging?
No, they haven't been gouging. They've been really good.
All right, good.
They've really been good.
Good, because I haven't seen too many people gouging. I've seen a couple. I had a meat company that really tried to gouge me. I didn't let them, but they tried. So, a couple of people have tried. So you have to be kind of vigilant when you're ordering this stuff. You have to watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You have to watch it. Look, if somebody's charging $1 more, 50 cents more, they're charging for delivery. Okay, you know what? I get it. It's gas. They got to hire a guy. No problem. I got no issues with it because I need it delivered. But if you're going to gouge me to make money, then I have an issue.
I agree. I had one company, I'm not going to say who, they billed me for extra products that they didn't deliver. And I called them and I said, hey, I got billed for this, but you never delivered it. And and they didn't answer. They ignored me. And then then I called again. I sent them a couple of emails, and I called again and again and again, and then finally I said, "Listen, I'm never ordering from you again. I'm going to tell all my friends not to order from you because you're a bunch of thieves." And that's when I got the reply.
Wow.
Oh, we're so sorry. We're going to refund you immediately. And they said, we refunded you. And I said, great. Thank you for the refund because I appreciate getting my money back for product I didn't get.
Yeah, no shit.
So I waited a couple of days. I checked my credit card. Online, and I never got the refund.
Oh.
So I emailed them again. I said, "Hey, I never got the refund. You said you were going to refund me, and I never got the refund." So tonight, actually, just before I got on the air here, I got a call from them, and she said, "What do you mean? I refunded you immediately." She said, "Here, I'll send you the receipt of the refund." And she sent me the receipt, and apparently they refunded me immediately. So I don't know what happened there. So the credit card's not showing the refund. So I have to get in touch with the credit card company now.
Oh, sometimes it takes up to 2 days to show up on your card.
Oh, this is more than a week.
Oh, then that's not good.
No. So now I have to call the credit card. I have a reference number. I have to call the credit card company now and figure out what the heck happened there. But at least I know that they tried.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. It's people during KSF also pulled some stuff. They sent me too much. I said, look, you're breaking my bank here. Yeah. So they came, they took it back. I said, did you refund my credit card? She says, yes, I did, blah, blah, blah. They didn't. They made a whole mess of my account. Whatever. I straightened it out, but they were very laissez-faire about it. and I didn't like it. You know, it's my money. It's my credit card.
Yeah, of course. And you're responsible for paying it at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
They get your money. They get the money, but you got to pay it.
Exactly. Somebody has to.
That's it. Fanny,
Yeah.
thanks so much for calling. Appreciate it.
Yeah, take care, Howie. Have a great night.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye. 1-877-669-1292 is the number to call. 1-877-669-1292 to get in to talk to me here on the Howie Silbiger Show. Another story that got me today, and this was a story that I think we spoke about this maybe 2 years ago. A year and a half or 2 years ago we spoke about this, and it just came up again today. Is the story of former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn of the United States. Now, Michael Flynn is a three-star general. He is a former three-star general of the U.S., and he was basically literally railroaded out of the job of National Security Advisor by the FBI. The Justice Department on Thursday, which was today, moved to drop its case against former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn in a stunning development that came after internal memos were released raising questions about the nature of the investigation that led to Flynn's late 2017 guilty plea of lying to the FBI. The announcement came in a court filing after a considered review of all the facts and circumstances of the case, including newly discovered and disclosed information. As the department put it, the Department of Justice officials said that they concluded that Flynn, interviewed by the FBI, was untethered to and unjustified by the FBI's counterintelligence investigation into Mr. Flynn, and that the interview was conducted without any legitimate investigative basis. Later Thursday afternoon, Flynn tweeted a video of his grandson reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, along with the message, "and justice for all." The federal judge overseeing the case would have to make a final determination to dismiss it. The retired Army Lieutenant General for months had been trying to withdraw his plea, aided by a new attorney aggressively challenging the prosecutor's case and conduct. But the case had been plodding through the court system with no resolution ever since his original plea, even amid speculation about whether President Trump himself could extend a pardon. The Department of Justice move to dismiss the case would appear to put an end to that process. Now, earlier today, the prosecutor of the case, Brandon Van Glack, abruptly withdrew from the case without explanation in a brief filing with the court. Breadcrumbs were being dropped in the days preceding the decision that this case could be reconsidered. Documents unsealed a week ago by the Justice Department revealed agents discussed their motivations for interviewing him in the Russian probe, questioning whether they wanted to, quote, get him to lie so he'd be fired or prosecuted, or get him to admit wrongdoing. Flynn's allies howled over the revelations, arguing that he essentially had been set up in a perjury trap in that interview. Flynn did not admit wrongdoing and instead was accused of lying about his contacts with then Russian ambassador, to which he pleaded guilty. The latest Department of Justice filing noted that Flynn's false statement plea pertained to crimes that required a statement to be not simply false, but materially false with respect to a matter under investigation. The filing showed that the government is not persuaded that the January 24, 2017 interview was conducted with legitimate investigative basis, and therefore does not believe Mr. Flynn's statements were material, even if they were untrue. The U.S. Attorney reviewing the Flynn case, Jeff Jansen, recommended dropping the case to Attorney General William Barr last week and formalized the recommendation in a document this week. Quote, through the course of my review of General Flynn's case, I concluded that the proper and just course was to dismiss the case, Jensen said in a statement. I briefed Attorney General Barr on my filings, advised him on these conclusions, and he agreed. President Trump reacted from the Oval Office just minutes after the Department of Justice filing surfaced. He was an innocent man. Now, in my book, he's even a greater warrior, Trump said, while criticizing Obama's administrative officials. They're human scum, he said. It's treason. Trump's critics derived the decision on Thursday. Former FBI Director James Comey tweeted, the DOJ has lost its way. And House Judiciary Committee Chairman Gerald Nadler, who was a key figure during Trump's impeachment proceedings, called the decision outrageous. The evidence against General Flynn is overwhelming, Nadler said in a statement, while urging an Inspector General investigation. Meanwhile, the Department of Justice on Wednesday released a mostly unredacted version of former Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein's August 2017 scope memo, outlining the authority then Special Counsel Robert Mueller had for his investigation. That document revealed for the first time that Mueller's authority went significantly beyond what was previously known. Rosenstein's memo was known to have authorized Mueller to investigate any links and or coordinations between Russian government and individuals associated with the campaign of President Donald Trump, and any matters that arose that may arise directly from the investigation, and any other matters within the scope of obstruction of justice laws. But the new document made clear that Rosenstein authorized a deep-dive criminal probe into the Trump campaign that extended well beyond Russian interference efforts. Excuse me. The memo revealed that Mueller was, among other things, looking into whether Flynn's committed a crime or crimes by engaging in conversation with Russian government officials during the period of Trump's transition. That was an apparent reference to the Logan Act, an obscure statute that has never been used in a criminal prosecution successfully and was intended to prevent individuals from claiming falsely to represent the United States government abroad. Meanwhile, the handwritten notes showing the agents discussing his interviews, in which FBI's former head of counterintelligence, Bill Presap, penned after meeting with then FBI Director James Comey and then FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, sparked even bigger reverberations for the case. The notes released last week show that the agents considered various options in the run-up to the fateful January 2017 interview, including getting Flynn to admit to breaking the Logan Act when he spoke to former Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak during the presidential transition period. What is our goal? One of the notes read. Truth, admission, or to get him to lie so that we can prosecute him or get him fired. Another note read, if we get him to admit to breaking the Logan Act, given the facts to the DOJ, and have them decide. The memo appeared to weigh the pros and cons of pursuing those different paths while cautioning, if we're seen as playing games, the White House will be furious. Aside from swiftly being ensnared into Mueller's investigation and the fallout from that interview, Flynn was fired from his prominent post as National Security Advisor in February 2017. The resignation came as he was accused of misleading Vice President Pence and other senior White House officials about his communications with Kislyak. Flynn's communications with Kislyak in December 2016 had been picked up in a wiretap discussions, apparently unbeknownst to him. The FBI agents in January 2017 questioned him on the communications and later used his answers to form the basis for the false statement charge and his guilty plea. Flynn's supporters have insisted that he was innocent, but was pressured to plead guilty when his son was threatened with prosecution, and he exhausted his financial resources. The release of the handwritten FBI notes fueled accusations from Flynn's defenders that agents did not conduct themselves properly in the case. Meanwhile, the Rosenstein Scope memo further authorized a Foreign Agents Registration Act review into Flynn's dealing with Turkey. Prosecutors have suggested Flynn's guilty plea on one count of false statements to the FBI allowed him to escape liability for a possible FARA charge. In other words, the FARA case may have provided leverage. So they basically set the man up, destroyed his life, made him lose his job, all because they wanted to get President Donald Trump. How sad and disgusting is that? How sad and revolting is that? And how scary is that? How scary is it that people could, that an agency could destroy you? They could come out and destroy your life, take you apart, destroy your family, make you spend all your money on your defense, and then the case just gets dropped. To me, it's scary. And I'd hate to see that happen to anybody else. All right, I'm running out of voice, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. I want to thank you for listening, and I will see you again. On Sunday, right here on the Howie Silbiger Show on the True Talk Radio Network. Thank you so much for being part of the show tonight, and we'll try to do this again on Sunday. Hopefully my voice will be a little stronger. But until then, I bid you a good night.